the difference between Black Lives Matter and Black Identity Extremists. Black Lives Matter, funded by George Soros, a Jew, not even founded by a black person. Black Identity Extremists is a term created by the FBI to describe a radical group that doesn't exist because it doesn't have any members or leaders. It just seems to be like an idea that the FBI has. There's a guy on Facebook, August 17th, 2017, posted a post on Black Lives Matter Facebook. He's basically just like, black people need to stop going to protest white people, and if anything, they need to protest themselves, which makes sense. White people make the point all the time that Black Lives Matter, but black people kill each other all the time, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that makes sense. Then he goes on to say that black people imitate negative images that they see on television, and the rest of the world sees these mainstream images of mainstream artists. So they think that that's real too. So that's how they think that black people really act. And black people in America think that's how black people react. So, you know what I'm saying? That's how effective the power of the media is. So basically he's pointing out that black people haven't really had a chance to choose an identity for themselves because all you have is like the media and shit. And cliches, morals from cliches on television. You know what I'm saying? Television being a new like religion or whatever. So that makes a lot of sense, I guess. So he's basically pointing out that black people haven't chosen an identity. So that's cool. A little bit later, I noticed that they made a post. They made a post under the post of, you know what I'm saying? They made a reply to it. So the reply was basically like, yeah, man, George Soros is a white guy. He didn't even invent Black Lives. He didn't even, Black Lives Matter wasn't even invented by a black person. It was made by George Soros. And there should be a movement made by black people. You know what I'm saying? Basically saying you should make sure, basically telling the dude that he should make his own movement. But the dude didn't respond. He just promoted family business and individual businesses. And that reply has since been deleted. And on that post that he commented on, it's 666 comments on it now. I can find the post if you want me to. Just leave a comment in the description bar or comment box or whatever. And yeah, I'll hook you up with that. So after that, I think he opened up a Instagram page called Black Identity, but instead of an I, it's an L. And so I checked out the page. It's not really anything violent. It's just like, memes and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like not really anything negative. It's just like there's one that says family business. So he's promoting family business. He has a one on there. It's like easy access, but I guess that's basically saying like if I guess that's basically saying like when a girl dressed scantily clad or whatever, and then she ends up getting arrested, some shit can go down, like violence and, like death, from violence, from minor violence and injury to death, just within that range of crazy shit that might happen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get what he's saying with the meme that says easy access. So yeah, he's just promoting ideas to help strengthen the overall morale of the black community. And he's doing it in kind of a cool way. Like he's just promoting the idea on Instagram, which is cool. So yeah, that was before October. Like after the beginning of October, now you see like all these reports that saying like Black Identity Extremists and Black Identity FBI reports and shit like that. And it's just like it kind of reminds you of how they made Martin Luther King look like a villain, but this movement has no fucking leader. This it doesn't even have a leader. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that's not all they're doing. They're attributing negative, violent acts that they used to just put on George Soros's group, Black Lives Matter. They used to just put negative acts on that black people were doing towards the police or racially charged acts towards Black Lives Matter. But now that they have a group that's not made by a Jew, that's actually possibly an idea that was made by a black dude that was not under their control, now they have something to pin like on an actual black person. So I think that's where the Black Identity Extremist concept comes from. Not the Black Identity concept though. That comes from the guy that actually talked about it and endorsed the idea. So where we at? Black Identity Extremist is an idea that was basically made up by the FBI. Basically, what they're trying to do is pin all of the violent shit that BLM used to get blamed for, and now trying to blame it on like a real black movement. You know what I'm saying? And it's the newest one because they can't even figure out what it is, what black identity is. They're just saying black identity activists. They're just trying to throw black identity in there with all the bullshit that Black Lives Matter and whoever these people are. Like we're like Black Lives or Black Identity is the same thing. But Black Identity is not a movement. It reminds me of like what they were doing with like what they did to the Crips, like in the Bloods and shit. Like originally, like they weren't negative groups, but somehow they ended up fighting against each other and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess like the media pin like the same thing they're trying to do with this black identity person. So, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the same thing, how they're trying to say like, oh yeah, these guys are real violent. So the police violence increased and all that shit. But I don't think the black identity people are even a movement. I think according to the Instagram page, Black Identity is a world awareness organization, or WOW for short. Black Identity's focus is not on white people, doesn't seem to be on white people at all, or violence against them for that matter, or police for that matter. So Black Identity's focus isn't on white people at all. But it seems like the FBI is trying to make it seem like somehow it's violently aimed at white people or whatever. But so far, it just seems like it's all about inspiration and prosperity. It seems pretty positive. There's no black people with guns on that page. So I don't know what black identity they're talking about, but from what I've seen, that's pretty much it, man. Let's see. So yeah, there's a lot of like fake reports and shit like that. I don't know if they're fake, but it seems like they're trying to attribute this black identity stuff from like last month to shit that happened like years ago. They probably blame that shit on Black Lives Matter. But at the same time, in this little article or news report that they have, it says that Black Lives Matter wasn't mentioned in the article, but Michael Johnson was there with Black Lives Matter. And now they're trying to say that Michael Johnson was influenced by black identity. But I don't think Black identity is violence. I think Black identity is uh, just like Black people prospering. Because the one thing he promotes on this page is just like fucking family business. So and he has the two little pictures and shit like that. Who, yeah, that's who we were, but who are we now? That's pretty cool. I don't know, man. I don't see any violence in it. I don't see any violence toward the police. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's the difference between Black Identity Extremists, Black Lives Matter, and Black Identity. Black Identity Extremist is a term invented by the FBI. Black Identity is an idea created by someone on Facebook. Black Identity is a potential, it can potentially expand. And if you like the idea that are presented by Black Identity, that could make you an extremist just by liking the idea. So that could make you an extremist just because you are going in a certain direction. But the word extremist also has a lot of different negative definitions to it too. But fortunately, Black Identity Extremists don't exist because it is a whatever.